Hello friends, welcome to Database Academy. In this session, we are going to learn the most frequently asked question for PLSQL developer. That is, what is the difference between decode and case statement? So let's start. So here we will see one by one all the differences with practical. So before we start the difference, let's understand the similarity between both of them. So the purpose for both of them are same only because both work like a if else condition. So here we'll understand. So if we have a employee ID that is equal to 1, then it will else it will do this one. So that's why both work like a if else condition. If it is satisfied, then it will return true. That means this one. If it is doesn't satisfy, then it will go to the else condition. If none of them condition are matched, then it will execute the last else condition. So there is always an else condition in that. So this is the similarity between case and decode statement. Now let's understand the differences between case and decode statement. Here case is a statement and decode is a function. So case works like a statement that the case can be used in a PLSQL block as well as in the SQL statement also. While decode is a function, so it works like a function, like we have so many other functions in the Oracle like date functions and VL functions. So similar kind of things decode is also performing here. Next is case can work with logical operators. So logical operators is greater than, less than, equal to, between, like operators. So these are the logical operators that case can work with that. But decode performs an equality check only. So let's understand. So here you can see that I have write SQL statement. So employee number, name and department number columns. And here I have used as a decode function, and in that I'm checking if the department number is 10, then it will print HR. If it is 20, then it will print dev. If it is 30, then it's print QA. In case there is no any matching criteria found, then it will return as an unknown. So let's execute this query. So here you can see the output. So here based on my condition, department number is 10, then it is printing as an HR, 20 for dev and 30 for QA, and for 40 we doesn't match any criteria. So that's why it is printing as an unknown condition. So here department number is equal to 10. So we cannot say that if department number less than 10, then it will print this one. Department number is greater than 20, then print this one, or department number between 10 and 20, then print this one. So these kind of condition we cannot add here. That's why we said that decode works with equality check only. Let's understand the case statement. So in the case statement, see I have write a select statement. In that there is a case statement. So I have mentioned like when department number is less than 11, that is 10, 9, 8, 7, everything it will be print for HR. There is a department equal to 20, then it will print a dev. If the department number between 21 and 35, then it will print QA. If there is no matching criteria found, then it will print as an unknown. So if let's execute this query. So here you can see that it is working fine with all the operators. So greater than, less than, equal to, between. So that is the difference between case and decode. Okay. So now let's understand the next difference, that is case can work with predicted and searchable subqueries, and decode cannot work with searchable subquery and the predicted one. Let's understand. So here I have already write a select statement. In the select statement, the case statement we have where the department number is in 30 or 40. So the predicted, that means which we already know that this condition, if we match this condition like department number is 30 and 40, then only it will do this one. We can even write a subquery in the condition. So here, see, I have write a subquery. So when department number in, select department number from department table, and if that match any department number which is available in the department table, then it will print a developer. So that's why case can work with predicted and subquery also. So let's try with the decode statement how it will work. So if I write like a code like decode and department in 20, 10, 20 or between 10 and 20, or if I try to use this subquery inside this one, it will not work. So let's execute this and we'll see the output. So here this is not working. This is missing expression. That means it is not accepting this. So this will not work with the any condition, like we cannot mix like 10 20 in condition, and we cannot write a subquery. That's why so case can work with predicted and searchable subqueries, whereas decode cannot work. Okay, now let's understand the next difference. So case can be used in SQL and PLSQL block, whereas decode can use only in SQL statement. We cannot use a decode statement in the PLSQL block. Let's understand. So here I have a PLSQL block. Inside this I have used two local variables, and I have mentioned the department number as in hard coded 30, and department name is a very local variable which is using a case statement, and based on the case statement output it is printing the department name. So here without using any select statement, I am starting using a case when department number in 30 40, then print HR department. If department number is equal to 10, then print the developer, or else unknown. So see here, without, even though there is no select statement, the case will work fine. So let's set this set server output on so that it will display on the console. And now we'll execute this PLSQL block. So here you can see the department name is HR department. So why? Because I have mentioned hard coded as in 30. So let's change to 10 and we'll see the output. If I execute this, we got developer. So this is the developer. So case can work in a PLSQL block without select statement. We have already seen that case is working fine with the select statement like this one. So case is working with select statement. Case is working inside the PLSQL block as well. Now we'll try to use decode in a PLSQL block. So here I have used the same variables here, and I'm using this decode function. Department is 10, then HR, 20, then dev, and like that, and I'm printing that department number. So if I execute this, I'll get an error like decode may be used inside a SQL statement only. So that's why we cannot use a decode statement in a PLSQL block. We must use this select statement to use this decode function. So that's the difference between case is used in SQL and PLSQL block, and decode used only in SQL. Okay, so let's understand the next difference. So case can be used as a parameter of function and procedure, whereas decode cannot be used as a function procedures parameter. So let's understand why we cannot use that one. Okay, so let's create a one procedure here. So procedure proc1 is created. So here in that I'm taking two inputs parameter, and I'm just adding these two input parameter and assigning to local variable and just printing to the total of that. So let's set the set server output on so that it will display on the console. So here I am executing this procedure proc1, and here I have used so that it will ask me the input values, and based on my input value, when it is 10, then it will pass the 100 as in first parameter, and for second parameter I have mentioned 100 as an hard coded. So let's execute this procedure. So it is asking for the inputs. I'm mentioning 10 here. So if I'm adding 10, then it will treat it as an 100. So 100 it takes as an num1 field and 100 already for num2. So the total is 100 plus 100, 200. So case we have used inside these parameters, so that based on condition also it can be used. Okay, let's use this decode statement inside the parameter. If I use this, let's enter some 10 values. So here we got the same error which we got earlier. So decode may be used inside a SQL statement only. So that's the main difference, that we cannot use decode in a parameter for procedure or function. Okay, let's understand the next difference. So in case data type must be same in all conditional check, whereas decode can have a different data type in conditional check. Let's understand. So here I have a select statement for decode function. So inside this I'm using decode function. So here department number is 10, then print HR. If 20, then it is printing 200. So here this HR is single quote. Inside the single quote, that means it's a character. And here it's a number data type. So even though it is HR and number is it is 200 is a number, that will work fine. Let's execute this one, and we are getting here output. So for first one it is printing as an HR, and for 20 department number it is printing as in 200. So even though data type are not matching, it is working fine with the decode function. Let's do the try with the select statement. So here the case statement, department number is less than 11, then I'm printing as in HR. So here let's change this. So HR is a character type, and now I'm just entering the 3000, which is a number data type, and I'll try to execute this query. Here you got error, inconsistent data type. So that means here in the first condition we have used HR for as in character data type. For second condition we have used 3000, which is a number data type. So in case we cannot use a multiple data type to handle the condition. So that's why case statement data type must be same in all the condition, whereas decode can have a different data type. Okay, now let's understand the next difference, that is case handle null differently than decode, and decode handle null differently from case. So let's understand. Here I have a select statement. Inside this I am using decode function. So first condition what it is, if null is null, then print this is a null. If null is not null, then print this is not null. So let's execute and we'll see what is the output. So this is null, which is expected output. Let's execute this same condition in the case statement. What we have used, case, if null is null, then print this is null, else this is not null. So if I execute this, ideally it should print this is null, but it is printing this is not null. So what's the difference? That case is using differently than the decode. So what we need to add here, we need to add when null is null. That means we need to mention that is null condition. So then only we will get the expected output. So this is null. So this is how the case is handle the null condition differently than a decode. So the last difference is case execute faster in optimizer, whereas decode bit slower than case. So that's the difference between case and decode statement. And if you learn something new in this video, please subscribe my channel and like this video. Thank you so much.